Okay, so part 2 of documenting the kids' rock band. This part I want to talk about the guitars. So I had been playing guitar with my son for a while, but he got to a point where it was really painful for him to play with me because, you know, there's a father-son thing going on. So, all right, let's find him a guitarist his age, and ended up finding one of his classmates at his school, you know, plays a little guitar. So we brought him over, and I was very mindful to use like real simple songs that were achievable. So we started with Columbia by Oasis. It's literally 3 chords, A, D, C. Play the A 8 times, play the D 4 times, play the C 4 times, and repeat that for the verse and chorus. Here's the other thing. We're not playing intros for the song, we're not doing bridges, and we're not doing outros. We're just doing verse, chorus, bam, move on to the next song. So we did Columbia, and that worked out really well. You know, what we did is we worked on playing the A chord together as a group. I was playing bass and singing just to provide it because we didn't have the bass or singing at the point. And so, you know, we got that together, then play the D chord separately, then the C chord. We just jammed on the individual chords. Then we jammed on going from A to D, you know, then D to C. We jammed on that. Then A, D, C, stop. Then restart, A, D, C, stop. And then A, D, C, keep it rolling, A, D, C. At this point, it's always been 4. 4A, 4D, 4C, the whole way through. And then once we got that, then I said, all right, now let's change it up and do it the way the song does. A is done 8 times. 8 times. And then D done 4, C done 4, and boom. And we repeated it, and then once we got it solid, I started I started putting vocals over it, and before you know it, we had the song down. And that was a really good marker of success because there's not a whole lot of dynamics as far as the guitar goes. The guitar plays the same thing over and over again, or at least that's the way I meant it for it to be. It's on distortion the whole time, no clean, just distortion the whole way through. So it's also fun for our guitarists to play on distortion. So that was a good first song to start with. The next song that we did, I believe, Creep by Radiohead, and I kind of made a modification because in that the chord progression is G, B, C, then C minor. That C minor is a hard chord because it's generally a bar chord. So how do we work around that? What I decided to do is do the G as a power chord, B as a power chord, C also I think as a power chord, and then just a C single note, not a power chord, C single note, just to differentiate it so that, because each one you got to strum 8 times, and to count 16, little bit challenging for a new musician. So C power chord, and then, you know, lift up the finger and just play a C note. I would provide the minor sound on the bass. All right, so that's how we got that kind of minor sound. And yeah, there is dynamics. We didn't do the dynamics right away. We just made sure we got the progression G, B, C, C minor over and over and over and over and over and over again. And then once we got it, then it's like, all right, let's hit the distortion pedal after we do, you know, that do it clean, like whatever, 4 times or whatever. And we eventually got that, and and I was singing over it, and all good. Ended up being very good. I tried doing Tomorrow Never Knows, worked out okay, but because, you know, for the guitar, I just had him play C chord all the way through, and yeah, there wasn't a real good sense of cohesion, not for the level of musicians that we're working with right now. So I decided to scrap that, table that, and also I was starting to think, like, let's, you know, we got a couple 90s songs, let's keep the theme on the 90s. 90s are a pretty good place to start with simple chord music that tend to just repeat. So then we ended up doing Zombie by the Cranberries. That ended up working out. And you know, I did a kind of metal version. If you see Frog Leap Studios, this guy Leo, he does this kind of metal version of Zombie. So because I was still playing bass and singing, I did that, and that was very exciting for everybody. So those 3 songs we're getting kind of solid with. Then the main thing now is just, you know, practice and rehearse and drill, know when to go from clean to distortion, because both Zombie and Creep have clean part and then distortion part. and so that's what we've been working on. You know, we have a few more tunes that we're throwing into the mix, but I don't want to really go into those until I start talking about the other members of the band. But the guitar was very important as a very important next piece of the band, because it, I think, really provides the backdrop of what the whole song is going to be. We got the beat with the drums. Drums, I think, was the very first important foundational first step. Then guitars, I think, are the next step, because they really kind of encapsulate the mood and the feel of the song, the instrumentation of the song, and so that was an important second step.